Surprisingly. And we're going to see, Chris, if Hank's got one last winner. I'm Josh Elliott.
And I'm Chris McKendry. A top 10 matchup in Lawrence tonight between Kansas and Texas A&M. College Game Day is there right now. Here's Reese Davis.
Refrain, rock, chalk, Jayhawk, chilly, spine-tingling, and an unmistakable sign, we are in Kansas, Toto, and their beloved Jayhawks, one of the teams that owns a victory over Florida. Who is the most likely challenger to Billy Donovan's throne? Who the biggest threat to a Gator repeat? And youth versus experience, raw talent versus refined teamwork. Are the Buckeyes or Badgers better suited for a deep tournament run? And lines have been drawn on Tobacco Road. But there's a line you don't cross in Shashevskyville. Repercussions of a breach of etiquette straight ahead. Rock, chalk, house party right now.
Welcome to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
You want to know why home teams in college basketball win about 70% of the time, and why Kansas has won nearly 85% of its games in over half a century here in this hallowed hall of Fog Allen Fieldhouse? It's these people behind us. Absolute mob scene, one of the great scenes in college basketball. Kansas and Texas A&M coming your way tonight. College Game Day rolling from behind a pyramid of cheerleaders here in Larrytown, Lawrence, Kansas. Hubert, Digger, and Jay are here. You know what they've done here at Fog Allen? This is one of the great old venues in college basketball. They've pumped more than $8 million in renovations into it. They have a new floor. They've got a giant bird on the floor. They've got new video boards, but they haven't lost one bit of the ambiance and the charm of the mystique, Jay.
No, this place just oozes history and tradition. I said it last time we were here, and I mean it. This place is the St. Andrews of college basketball, and the Silver Fox is always talking about waking up the echoes. Well, here at Fog Allen Fieldhouse, the echoes never went to sleep. I mean, you can't hear anything when this place is loaded, but this building speaks to you when it's empty.
When this was built in 1955, little did they know that they were going to build one of the great arenas in college basketball. Yes, Wilt Chamberlain was the guy that played back then, but when you look at arenas, and you guys know the ACC, this is one of the best in the country for getting the crowd into games and making things happen. Kansas is always tough to beat at home.
Well, I'll tell you, Coach, this is what college basketball is all about. You got the fans right on top of you, and I tell you, I would love to play in this type of situation.
Those echoes that Kansas prefer not to wake up, echoes from their last two appearances in the NCAA tournament. The Jayhawks have had regular seasons go wrong by being upset victims at the hands of much lower seeds. In 2005, as a not pleased with remembering that. Then last year, Bradley out of the Missouri Valley Conference as a 13 seed, they knock off Kansas 77-73. Now these last two experiences in the tournament for Kansas, a little bit of an anomaly for Bill Self. You see in his 3 stops, he's taken his team to the Elite 8 in each of the 3 stops, Kansas, Illinois, and Tulsa. The last 2 sort of sticking in the claw of the Jayhawks digger. What about this Kansas team? How deep can they go in the NCAA tournament?
They can go all the way to the Final Four, but the problem is they got 2 things that always show up in big games, like when they won at Iowa State on the road in overtime. They always get bad turnovers at the wrong time, and this is not a good team getting second chance points, and that's something you need in big games. You're not always going to make your field goal percentage and shooting over 50%, but in big games, if you don't get second chance points, you're not going to get to the Sweet 16 or the Final 8, and plus you can't have those bad turnovers in wrong situations.
You know something, Digger? I think this Kansas team is good enough to win it all. Remember last year entering the NCAA tournament, Florida was number 11 in the country. This Kansas team has won 34 of its last 39 ball games. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country, holding teams to under 40% shooting. And we always seem to talk, it's almost become cliche to say, well, Kansas doesn't have a go-to guy. Well, tell me who Florida's go-to guy was this time last year. This is a team that's deep, they're athletic, they're big, they've got physical guards, they can win it all.
Well, you're right, Jay. I mean, this is a team that has tremendous balance. They're great defensively on the offensive end. They've got great guards like Mario Chalmers, points in the paint with Sasha Khan, versatile players like Julian Wright and Brandon Rush. But this team was talented enough to win the national championship the last 2 years. They just didn't play well in those games that we saw against Bucknell. They were 1 of 11 from three-point range, and also against other teams, they gave up 18 turnovers and allowed Bradley to shoot over 50% from three-point range. But I think there's a difference. They have depth now, particularly Sharon Collins at the point guard position, averaging over 13 points in his last 16 games, a guy that gets into the middle and really is distributing the basketball.
You know, another parallel between Kansas and Florida from last year is, what were we talking about with the Gators last year? Why do they always get knocked out too early in the tournament? They got by 1, made it to the Final Four, and won the national championship. Kansas might be able to do that. Of course, this crowd would like to see them take control of the Big 12 race tonight against a very good Texas A&M team. Plenty on that, and we're also going to take you around the country, look ahead to what's on tap for the day, have the guys make some picks. And we've mentioned Florida a couple of times. Gators, reigning champs, everybody back. Who's most likely to stop Florida's reign of dominance? February, it's bubble time. How should the last 4 left out of the tournament field be evaluated? Say there's 1 spot left, we'll tell you who ought to be in, who should be out, and why. North Carolina and Duke meet next week. Their hospitality turns to a little hostility.
My brother started selling auto insurance. I got a little pressure to use them.
A little? I'm State Farm Agent Amy Kaplan, and this is a true story. I didn't pressure you. I think blood is thicker than water.
So is some of the staff. We switched from State Farm to him.
The service is horrible.
Well, he wouldn't call me back, and he's my brother.
So I called him, and he was ready to switch back. State Farm treated us like family.
Yeah, better.
Great service and great rates, it's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today. Like a good neighbor?
State Farm is there.
Everything's getting faster, sexier, and yet less expensive. So, why not cars? Say hello to the G6 sedan, G6 coupe, and G6 hardtop convertible. G6, one of the fastest growing brands in America. Pontiac, designed for action.
Innovations from Siemens can be found everywhere. By integrating communications, building technologies, and advanced medical systems, we're creating digital hospitals that can provide higher quality patient care. Siemens, we're turning dreams into reality.
Mississippi's the best crew chief in the business.
Yep.
How do you penalize a driver for aggressive driving?
Maybe you should test for a new left side compound on his tires.
Jimmy drives for points. Casey Kane drives to win.
That is the only way Biffle's going to win a super speedway.
You take away bumping. You take away what's good about racing.
You know, Gordon's crew did 2 of these in 7.65 seconds.
NASCAR Now, 6 days of NASCAR knowledge on ESPN2.
College Game Day is driven by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And in part by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA. And Siemens.
Jerseys hung in the locker room for Kansas. Another of the conundrums that vexes the illustrator. Don't step on the logo, Jay. What they put it on the form for?
Yeah.
The illustrator has figured out much, but that one's still problematic. What to watch for today? We start off with a rematch of last week's Game Day matchup.
Yeah, for Ohio State, which team is going to show up? In the first half for Ohio State, they were terrific in terms of establishing Greg Oden down low in the paint, knocking down jump shots. But in the second half, they decided to shoot quickly, not play any perimeter defense, and that's when Drew Nitro took over. He had 29 points, 25 in the second half, including 4 3-pointers in the game.
Northwestern at Wisconsin. Wisconsin coming off that big loss at Indiana, but we know what Orlando Tucker can do, as well as Cameron Taylor. But Brian Butch is the guy. If they're going to get to the Final Four, he's got to play big like he did getting 27 against Pitt or against Michigan. This team is that good if he plays with consistency.
And North Carolina taking on NC State. The Tar Heels, the top scoring team in the conference. They are holding their opponents to under 40% from the field and out-rebounding them by 10 per game. On the other hand, NC State, the lowest scoring team in the conference, getting out-rebounded by 10 a game. Nothing's got to give in this one.
Well, you look at Oregon. Aaron Brooks has been the leader for Oregon, but this is on a tough 4-game road stretch where they've already lost twice. But the key for them is defense. USC, the last time they played, shot 55% from the field, all 5 starters in double figures led by Todd Gibson, 18 points and 13 rebounds.
Payback. That's a payback game.
Payback. Hey, Stanford at Cal. Stanford coming off that tough home loss to Gonzaga. 20 turnovers in that game. But it's got to be Brooke Lopez. And when you look at Lawrence Hill, he's the other guy. But Lopez getting 20 points and 12 rebounds against Cal. He's there. They got to make their free throws. Only 61% and 16 turnovers in that game. Stanford is that good.
Not many teams can say that they have had the Gators number, but Tennessee can. Tennessee beat Florida a couple of times last year. Both close games. Both on Dave Bradshaw. Big plays down the gun of the game. And Joe Kim Noah, Jake, old Bruce Pearl in the offseason. I came back to beat you twice.
Well, he's got a good shot to do it today because Tennessee is allowing almost 80 points per game in Southeastern Conference play. They're allowing teams to shoot just under 50%. They're getting out rebounded, and the Cards are carrying the load for him. In Florida, Lee Humphrey's been spectacular over his SEC performance. 15 points per game in the Southeastern Conference, shooting 70% from 3. He may be the best shooter in the country.
And the reigning national champion, still number 1 in the ESPN USA Today. Coaches poll, Florida with 26 first-place votes. Wisconsin, they did fall on the road in Indiana this week, still number 2 currently, at least until the new poll comes out. This brings up the question, guys. Hey, look, well, I'm not sure Florida's gotten its due all season long. They have everybody back. They are a dominant team when they want to be. Who would be the Gators' biggest challenger in the tournament?
Well, you can probably pick out 4 or 5 teams that can challenge Florida in the NCAA tournament, but the trouble is they're not going to play those teams until they get to Atlanta. I'll tell you who Florida's biggest challenger is, and that's Florida. Florida has to meet their own standard every day, every play, and not worry about what's going on around them. They can't try to defend the national championship because they've already won that. They've got to try and win this next one for its own sake. They got the bullseye on them right now. They've got to worry about Florida and Florida alone. They're going to meet up with their challengers later on. They've got to handle themselves first.
That is the biggest challenge to Florida. It's nobody else but Florida. The defending national champ, and no one talks about player of the year like Joe Kim Noah. Well, he's the spark that lit the fire in the Final Four last year, and he's the spark that lights the fire this year. As he goes, they go. He may not have double-figure points or double-figure rebounds, but his presence on the floor, he's the intimidator with the ball on offense. He's the intimidator on defense. He gets key rebounds. He also gets those key block shots. So if Heaton sparks the lots of fire, Florida gets it done. That's the only challenge they have. It's right here. It's mental.
Well, I agree with you, but I think you look at Florida, they're a terrific team, but I think the team that can challenge them is North Carolina. They are terrific defensively. They get in the passing lane. They contest shots. Over the last 5 games. They've been holding teams to under 40% from the field, and offensively, they can match up with Al Horford and Joakim Noah, with Brandon Wright and going down low in the post. And this is a team, I think that X factor is Rayshon Terry at the small forward position. At 6'9", he can match up with Corey Brewer in terms of size and athleticism.
You know what's interesting about the NCAA tournament? It's kind of the discussion between Tiger Woods and Roger Federer, who's better. Tiger Woods has to beat everybody every week, but in a tournament setting like the NCAA tournament, like what Roger Federer has to do, you've got to just manage your path. And I think North Carolina is the best team in the country, but Florida's not going to see them until Atlanta or the championship game. So they've got to manage their own path, and the same goes for North Carolina, Wisconsin, UCLA, all those teams.
You know, there are about 2,000 people back here raising their hands and saying, we have a win over those guys, you know. What about Kansas?
Yeah, we already talked about Kansas is right there to do that if they manage their own path, and that's been Kansas's biggest problem, is managing their path, that first game, getting through it, and getting to the Final Four.
And you have some experience. You were on a staff of a Duke team that had to defend or pursue another title. What's the biggest key in keeping guys being selfless like Florida seems to be?
I think the biggest key is just concentrating on what your path is. Instead of worrying about what's going on the other side of the bracket, only one team's coming out of the other side of the bracket. You don't have to worry about that. The first weekend is a 4-team tournament. You manage those 2 games, that 4-team tournament. Next week, you've got the same thing, and then the Final Four in Atlanta, 4-team tournament.
Kansas believes it can get here. Certainly this Jayhawk crowd believes that they'll be sporting the crimson and blue in Atlanta come late March. Still to come on College Game Day. You have 2 dominant players in 2 very different ways. Senior, a freshman. Who's the real dominant force in the Big Ten? Is it Alondo Tucker and the Badgers, Greg Oden and the Buckeyes? And Duke is conscious of property lines. What happens to brazen interlopers in Sheshetskyville?
Oh, Dad, I'm right here. You don't have to text me. Pass this to Dad. Okay, Dad, seriously.
Give it to me. Join in from Verizon Wireless. Send unlimited text, pics, and video to any Verizon Wireless customer for $10 a month. Plus, get America's most reliable wireless network. Now buy a Moto Razr for $49.99. Verizon Wireless.
Only Pizza Hut Pan Pizza gives America more to love. And no wonder it was preferred over Domino's and Papa John's almost 2-to-1 in a national taste test. Right now, get any pan pizza, any toppings for just $10. Want more taste? Get America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut.
Here are the words the New York Times uses to describe Smokin' Aces. Blam, blam, blam. Expletive, expletive, plot twist. FBI, expletive, blam, blam, blam. Roll credits. Smokin' Aces. Rated R. Now playing.
My husband was a pilot for the Marine Corps, and we went overseas to Okinawa. A couple times a year, my husband would get to come back, and he actually got a Freebird burrito for me and smuggled it into Okinawa in the nose of the airplane so that I could have a Freebird burrito while we lived overseas. That's our great Freebird story.
At Hastings, discovery is surprising, inspiring, thrilling, never-ending. Check out our completely remodeled store at our grand opening, packed with games, music, movies, and books, all under one roof at Hastings. Discover your entertainment. 2004 Texas Avenue South.
Welcome
Welcome back to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
This part of the Wilt Chamberlain display here at Kansas, one of the great players in the history of college basketball. Played for the Jayhawks at dominant force, averaged nearly 30 points and 19 rebounds per game. He was estranged from Kansas for a little while, took his team to the Final Four, did not win the national championship, lost an epic battle against North Carolina. He was estranged from Kansas for a while until he realized how much the Jayhawks loved him.
I'm a Jayhawk, and I know now why there's so much tradition here and so many wonderful things that's come from here, and I'm now very much a part of it by being there and very proud of it. Rod Chalk, Jayhawk.
That reunion, a moving ceremony on January 17th of 1998. Late great Wilt Chamberlain, part of the rich lore in college hoops here in Kansas. Coming up today, we mentioned earlier, the rematch, Ohio State, Michigan State.
Well, Ohio State 1-10 at Michigan State, but that one win came last year. Ohio State has won 6 straight games. Craig Oden over that period averaging 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Michigan State has got to keep a body on him all game and still get out to three-point shooters, and they've got to find somebody other than Drew Neisel that's going to help them score.
Drew absolutely dominated the second half. He outscored Ohio State by it was just a fast turnaround for the Spartan offense in the second half. Defensively, they pushed out against Ohio State's version of a Wilt Chamberlain, and Craig Oden pushed him away from the block, made him shoot some free throws, which he did very well. Even so, Ohio State found a way to win the game, as Wisconsin has been able to do for much of the season in the Big Ten. These two teams go at it in different fashions. Buckeyes shoot it a little more from the perimeter. Wisconsin likes to get to the free throw line and go to Orlando Tucker. Both very powerful. These two teams certainly will be forces in the NCAA tournament. By the way, Selection Sunday, only 5 weeks away from tomorrow. Who makes the deeper run into the NCAA tournament, Wisconsin or Ohio State?
I really like Ohio State. When you go for a national championship, you've got to have somebody that can dominate inside. 2 years ago, North Carolina had Sean May. Last year, Joe Kim Noah did it for Florida. I think Greg Oden, what he showed that first half against Michigan State, where he dominated early in the game, and then, of course, what he can do on the boards, rebounding and blocking shots, he's the force that makes the Ohio State team that much better. He scores early in the paint. They do what? They can shoot the threes with more confidence. In the second half against Michigan State, he was 0 for 3. They didn't give him the ball. They started missing their threes. The 20-point deficit went away. That's why I like a big man in the paint.
Well, Coach, I disagree. I think both of these teams can make it to a Final Four, but they must improve in a couple of areas. You look at Wisconsin, a terrific defensive team, but they are struggling shooting the basketball, particularly from three-point range. In Big Ten play, 21% from three-point range. So guys like Orlando Tucker, Cameron Taylor, Michael Flowers, these guys have got to knock down perimeter jump shots to advance. And then when you look at Ohio State, perimeter defense, we talked about Drew Neisel, 29 points, 25 in the second half, and then also finding a balance of throwing the ball down low in the paint to Greg Oden and knocking down three-point jump shots, something they need to figure out before NCAA tournament time.
You know what, Hubert? I give the edge to Wisconsin because they're men. Wisconsin has grown older together, and I don't think the Badgers get near enough credit for being as skilled as they are. This is an outstanding passing team. Has a legitimate go-to guy star in Orlando Tucker. Michael Flowers, one of the best guards in America, as is Cameron Taylor, and they don't get the credit that they deserve. This is a team that does a great job of inverting their offense. They post their guards, their big guys step away, and they can hit from the perimeter. A guy like Joe Krabenhoff comes in. He's an outstanding passer, a much better athlete than he gets credit for. They can put the ball on the floor and drive around just about any matchup he meets. Wisconsin is much better, I think, than people think.
Wisconsin won the first meeting between those two teams. They're still vying for the Big Ten title rematch coming in Columbus. See if Ohio State can get even. Still to come here on College Game Day from Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Kenny Mayne takes us inside the rivalry between Duke and Carolina in a unique way.
Would you let any North Carolina student in your tent, or is you?
Not
what if at like 3 a.m. Stuart Scott showed up with a sleeping bag and some crackers? So let's party.
Probably still want to let him in.
Super
Super Bowl Sunday, live from Miami. Join the guys for a special 3-hour countdown beginning at 11 a.m. Wow. After the game, get a complete recap on SportsCenter and NFL Primetime. ESPN, your Super Bowl Sunday destination.
Thanks for the invite, Broham. I won't let you down. We got next! Next!
All right, Jerry, just take it easy out there. I don't want to repeat what happened last time.
If everybody plays by the rules, then it's all good, right?
Fine, but nobody calls 3 seconds in a pickup game.
Dr. Hoops does.
Nobody calls you Dr. Hoops, Jerry.
Real defense!
Jerry.
Next!
Jerry.
Let's pick up that guy. He's great.
We have 5 players.
We'll trade one of these guys. Duck game. Yo, throw me the rock. This is how pickup games are won. Yo, did you download those plays that I sent you?
They say family that plays together stays together, and one that walks apart just falls apart. So together we stand, divided we fall, united we form Voltron and take on all. Let's move. Second coming, yeah. Beginning, yeah. The truth is speaking. You should listen. So glorious, victorious. We take what we want. We born warriors.
Coney and Tots. Grab a classic Sonic extra long chili cheese coney and crispy golden tater tots for just $2.99. And pay the Sonic way. Swipe your credit or My Sonic card from your car.
Are you picking up the kids?
Well, I thought you were going to, honey, but I can't, which means that I'm going to have to cut my day short.
Huh?
If a call is dropped with a long-winded talker, chances are they haven't noticed this. Drop call etiquette says call the person back immediately. Act like you heard what they said. Then let them continue their conversation. Domination with minimum interference.
Or you could just switch to the network with the fewest dropped calls. Now get the new Red Sync for Valentine's Day. Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Chocolates are an absolute must.
If he doesn't bring chocolate to me on Valentine's Day,
We're talking trouble.
I'm in big trouble.
You're in the doghouse.
Don't give her just any chocolates. Give her Russell Stover chocolates with the famous Russell Stover bow.
This is the Siemens Trophy. It is presented to the national champion in college basketball. Kansas has designs on that trophy. Then again, so too does North Carolina. And the Tar Heels, they've been red hot, taking on North Carolina State, Digger, a team coming off a victory over Virginia.
I love Carolina's freshmen. The 5 of them are really starting to mature. I've always said you get freshmen playing 20 games, they are no longer high school kids making the transition. They're actually sophomores playing like sophomores. The reason why, those 4 freshmen last week without Mr. Wright, they get 56 points against Arizona in that big win, and they only had 92 points for the team. The 4 freshmen are that good. I love Ty Lawson, the 18 points, 8 assists in that game against Arizona. This team is that solid.
Forgive me my misstatement. It was Virginia Tech that North Carolina State beat earlier. North Carolina and Duke meet for the first time coming up a little bit later on this week. You see how they've matched up head-to-head throughout the decades. The Devils having the better of it in the 2000s. And the next chapter of Tobacco Road's premier passion play will be unveiled on ESPN Wednesday night, North Carolina and Duke. You know, the drama's been underway for a while. The Carolina invasions into solidly Duke territory, not necessarily unusual, just like what Hubert's done to our set this year. But Hubert and Jay have been able to put their allegiances aside and function in seamless harmony. For other people, it's a little bit tougher to hide their colors. Kenny Mayne takes us under the tent of the rivalry.
I walked the campus of Duke University, knowing that when I took math for everyday living in junior college, the credits earned never transferred here. They didn't even transfer to UNLV. But try as I may to make this story about me, it's not. It's about them, the Cameron Crazies. And them, Carolina hoop fans. Every year, a few of the bravest Tar Heels attend Duke for a semester in a special studies program. They are called Robertson Scholars. It used to be that they were allowed to camp, or tent as the cool kids call it, with the Dukies in Shashevskyville and get the good seats at Cameron. Smart as they are, the Dukies didn't see how they had exposed themselves.
Well, last year, a bunch of Robertson Scholars came in and they tented and they went into the stadium wearing Duke gear, and then they changed into Carolina gear in the middle of the student section.
They wore Duke stuff, and then underneath they wore Carolina stuff, and then they took it off during the game.
It was like a Trojan horse.
Yes, very much so.
And so the Duke Student Council in charge of Krzyzewskiville declared the UNC students here personas non grata, which in English means persons without grata.
Would you let any North Carolina student in your tent, or is what if Stuart Scott showed up with a sleeping bag and some crackers?
Probably still wouldn't let him in.
We attempted to contact the president of the Duke Student Council, but we didn't really try that hard. Behind me is a statue of James Buchanan Duke. With regard to this controversy, if he were alive today, he'd be 150 years old. The Duke kids, because they're smart, do they have different shaped heads when you give them haircuts, or is it regular shaped head? How do you see this UNC Duke basketball problem?
The only problem I see is that you're going ball.
The haircut cost me $17. The insult? Priceless. I went back to try to bring peace between these warring students.
I guess just as an outsider, it seems wrong to be so exclusionary.
It seems wrong to me as well, like, in a way, Like, I mean,
didn't President Kennedy say, "Ich mein North Carolinier"?
I'm not sure. I don't know what he said.
ESPN made an attempt to contact the Robertson Study Group students, but it wasn't really that serious of an attempt. Behind me, James Buchanan Duke. He's even older than the last time I did a stand-up. Also, I got a haircut. Excuse me?
You by chance have...
You're being too loud on your cell phone, and you must evict. You must protect this tent.
Sorry, I'm actually...
Can't we all just get along? Probably not. I may be going bald, but Duke grad Jay Billis isn't exactly sporting a mop top now, is he? It's tough out there.
We must protect this tent! We must protect this tent!
We must protect this tent! And they will. And then they'll go crazy.
I did everything I could to protect Jay from that shot from Kenny Mayne, and if you can't get enough of the Duke-Carolina rivalry and all the infiltration of the opposite side, not only do the men play on Wednesday night, Thursday night, number 1 against number 2, Duke, North Carolina women on ESPN2, available in HD. A Big 12 rivalry is emerging here in Kansas. Time for this self-absorbed crowd to get a chance to hear from their leader. Bill Self will join us here at the Fog as the Jayhawks get set to take on Texas A&M tonight. Still to come on College Game Day, you'll see just how Bill Self goes about his business. All access with the Kansas head coach, and he'll join us here on the set and show us a little bit of that Jayhawk offense and how should the bubble teams be evaluated and whose bubble's going pop.
The Arena Football League begins March 4th on ABC.
Evoke the rich tapestry of love and devotion. Promote the sweet saccharine of all that devotion. I love you, Swiss snap. I love you.
Passion comes in many colors. The Pontiac Solstice.
Only Pizza Hut Pan Pizza gives America more to love. And no wonder it was preferred over Domino's and Papa John's almost 2-to-1 in a national taste test. Right now, get any pan pizza, any toppings for just $10. Want more taste? Get America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut.
Now on DVD. Are you ready for this? Boog and Elliot. They're partners. They're buddies. Hey, buddy. They're bros. Bros before dose.
Hello, Elliot.
Catch you later, Boog. Open season. Now on DVD.
Dial for men. Here's to your man suit. Your hair-covered, meat-powered man suits. Not to be dried out, perfumed up, or metrosexualized, but worn like a man. And man, this is for that mighty man suit. Dial for Men cleans without drying. Not dry. So you can say, I feel good being a man.
Dial for Men Body Wash. Maintenance for your man suit.
NBA Sunday on ABC. Pistons, Cavaliers, Eastern Conference heavyweights, division rivals. The Pistons are hitting on all cylinders now that hometown legend Chris Webber has given them another threat in the post. They head to Cleveland, where King James and company will be looking to hold down their home court in the game of the week. NBA Sunday, 2:30 Eastern on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Welcome back to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
That's Bog Allen, the father of coaches, who James Naismith once told, Forrest, basketball's not a game to be coached, it's a game to be played. Naismith wrong about that. Bog Allen did a great job coaching, sort of like Bill Self does now with the Jayhawks. He's wired for South.
All right, play. Got to show, Jew. Got to get back. Ball shot. Let's go. Good gosh, Sharon, is that soft. That's an easy steal, and you let him get 2 points out of the deal. All right, single away, trap it. Did you not see him? Ooh, man, a blind man could see that. Hey, I don't want to hear it. The game's on line. There's 1 minute left. Oh, gosh dang, Brandon, stop. That was perfect. Good job. That was perfect.
Not only expert coaching, but the crowd can also help the offense a little bit too. You look at the last 2 seasons and the way Kansas has performed in front of the home crowd here. Jay and Hubert had a chance to join in with Coach Self and some Jayhawks to work a little inside-out Kansas offense.
Any Bill Self-coached team makes great use of big guys and the perimeter, and they interact well, whether it's feeding the post or kicking it back out and then using ball screens. Bill, why don't you show us exactly what you guys like to do when the post and perimeter interact?
Okay. What we have here, we got Russell and Jeremy on the perimeter and Sasha and Darnell inside. And what we like to do, we like to play inside out like a lot of teams do. And we want to get the ball in as tight as possible to put pressure on the defense. But on post fans, if nothing's there, we like to sprint into a ball screen immediately to hopefully force a bad hedge and give our guards, which is the strength of our team, an opportunity to get to the paint. Let's see what it looks like here, guys. And Sasha will fan, hopefully get a bad late hedge, and then we have that played just like that. All right, let's do it one more time and let's bounce pass it. Sometimes when there's 5 defenders, that lob's not always okay. Looks pretty good 2-on-2. Boom. And we like to play to that right there and hopefully create an angle that if it is a flat hedge or a late hedge, our guard can get to the paint. But if it is a bad hedge, we can pass underneath it and get an easy basket.
And Sasha usually comes straight out, or is it a call play, or is it automatically?
No, we've mixed it up. But sometimes if it's not an automatic, we get confused a little bit, and so we rather it be an automatic. So no matter where the post fanner is, we like to chase him into a ball screen to create distance and a bad hedge.
The best teams use great teamwork, both post and perimeter, and Kansas is one of the best teams. And the way their big guys and their guards interact, that's why.
Can keep an eye on that tonight when Kansas takes on Texas A&M. And joining us, the head coach of the Jayhawks, Bill Self. Excellent coaching. I know Jay and Hubert hard to work with, but you got them
difficult.
You walked them through it nicely. Tonight, a top 10 matchup against your good friend Billy Gillespie and Texas A&M. How do the conversations change between you and Billy during game week?
Well, we still talk, but he throws things out there like, well, when we do this or do that, and I know darn well they're not going to do it. So he thinks he's pretty clever, but things won't change between us. We're great friends. He's been great for our league. He's done as good a job coaching his team over the last 5 years as anybody in America has, and we've got our work cut out tonight.
Now, you guys were together at Tulsa in Illinois along with Norm Roberts, but there's a story from back on the summer basketball circuit. You tried to borrow money from Billy once, and he wouldn't give it to you. Why not?
I guess he didn't trust me much. And of all places, we're in Vegas when I asked for it. That may be why, but I didn't know Billy at all, but I knew of him because I've seen him from afar, and I was broke one day trying to enter a summer event, and they didn't take credit cards, and I asked him for some cash, and he said no. And I went to the ATM machine, and that's kind of how we struck up a relationship. And then when we had a position come open, I had the opportunity to hire him because he's really good at what he does.
I hope you took a little out of his check for that after that.
He complained about that for many years.
Hey, what characteristic shows you a tough basketball team?
I would say a team that doesn't flinch going after loose balls, a team that goes after every ball with 2 hands, a team that doesn't let one mistake become 2 because they're not dwelling on the next play. Those are tough teams in my eyes, and I feel like we have a tough team. Now, we're not as tough as I want us to be, nor do the players feel we're as tough as we can be, but we're gaining on it and certainly made a lot of improvement over the last 6 weeks or so.
Now, we talked about it, much to the chagrin of some of these folks, about the tournament upsets the last couple of years.
I've heard about that, too.
You've heard a little bit about it?
Yeah.
How tough is it in the offseason to get over that as opposed to, say, losing in the Elite Eight?
Well, I've said this all along. Going into the NCAA tournament, we had a lot of success in the tournament. We've been to 3 Elite Eights, and I always felt like next to the national championship game, that had to be the toughest game to lose because you're so close and of doing something for your program that would mean so much to so many, and that's just by getting to a Final Four. Of course, losing the national championship game would have to be the toughest, but after losing the last 2, there's not a day, maybe an hour that doesn't go by that I'm reminded about it in some way, shape, or form. And it doesn't need to be other people reminding me about it. I think about it all the time myself, and we're just doing everything we can to prepare to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Well, maybe since we're in Kansas, the answer to all of the Jayhawks' recent first-round problems can be found if you just go off to see the Wizard.
I am Oz. The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come. You dare come to me for an answer? Who are you? Step forward, Jayhawks. First, you must prove your self-worth. You must complete a task. Avoid the tournament upset. I've got a warning. It's not just a tornado. It's a swarm of bees. The killer bees. Years ago was Buck Now who knocked you out. Last year was Bradley. This year, stay away from Butler. And you too will follow the yellow brick road all the way to Atlanta.
Pay no attention to that scarecrow behind the curtain. What was the scarecrow looking for again? A brain?
I think the scarecrow was a brain. Very good the Digger did that piece.
Yeah, I'm sure you're delighted by it. Hey, as you look at this game tonight against Texas A&M, it has a huge impact on the Big 12 race. What does it mean to your kids right now?
Well, it means an awful lot. Winning the league is going to be our goal every year, regardless of the situation. And we've had some success. We've won 2 of the last 3, the last 2, and tied for them. And we feel like we have a team that can certainly challenge this year. And this is an important game for everybody in our league because you have to hold serve at home. And if you hold serve at home, you got a chance to go steal some on the road. But our league's the best it's been since I've been in there. There are some really good teams. And if you watch TV, which you guys make a living doing it, very underrated league, and any win is a good win, and if you're able to steal one on the road, it's a great win.
I would imagine this place is going to be rocking tonight. Kansas and Texas A&M coming up 9 o'clock Eastern Time, immediately following College Game Day. Bill Self, the head coach of Kansas. Bill, thanks for spending some time with us. All right, Bill Self has his team in contention for the Big 12, certainly a national championship contender down the road. And still to come on College Game Day, certainly Self and the Jayhawks don't have to worry about being on the bubble. We'll tell you how bubble teams ought to be evaluated and who's in a little bit of trouble along the way. And what about the half-court shot? They made it in Carolina. Could Rock Chalk Jayhawks come up with some cold, hard cash?
Oh, Dad, I'm right here. You don't have to text me. Pass this to Dad. Okay, Dad, seriously.
Give it to me.
Join in from Verizon Wireless. Send unlimited text, pics, and video to any Verizon Wireless customer for $10 a month. Plus, get America's most reliable wireless network. Now buy a Moto Razr for $49.99. Verizon Wireless.
They say the family that prays together stays together, and one that walks apart just falls apart. So together we stand, divided we fall, united we form Voltron and take on all. Let's move. Second coming, yeah, the new beginning, yeah, the truth is speaking. You should listen. So glorious, victorious. We take what we want. We born warriors.
interesting. Discovery is surprising. Inspiring. Thrilling. Never-ending. Check out our completely remodeled store at our grand opening, packed with games, music, movies, and books, all under one roof at Hastings. Discover your entertainment. 2004 Texas Avenue South.
I've been with Progressive for many years now. It just keeps getting better. The website is wonderful and gives you great tools to manage your account with hardly ever having to make a phone call. It looks great too. Keep up the excellent work of serving your customers.
Get more for your money at Progressive.com. Progressive. It's about you, and it's about time.
Back on College Game Day from Fog Allen Fieldhouse, and Jayhawks getting revved up hours before the Aggies come in here for the conference showdown tonight. The winner merges with the Big 12 lead and likely the inside track on taking home the conference championship. Joe Bernardi is a certified bracketologist, and he is a man of principle. These are the last four teams he has in the NCAA field. Villanova, Missouri State before that, getting in an RPI of 22 for Jay Wright's Wildcats. They are one of the last four in the field. Arkansas out of the SEC, still 500, or sub 500 I should say, in the SEC West. Some solid wins in top 25 RPI. And Louisville, despite the low RPI number, if you believe in those types of things, one of Bernardi's last four teams in. So those last four in, the last four out. These four teams, a couple of them big names, Alabama, Maryland, left on the outside looking in at the moment, Kansas State, and Brigham Young. All right, guys, I want to take you through this exercise. Again, 5 weeks in a day away from Selection Sunday. Let's look at these last four teams left out according to Joe Bernardi. Alabama, Maryland, Kansas State, and Brigham Young. Let's say you had one spot left in the tournament. You can twist these numbers any way you want to. Who are you putting in that last spot out of those last four?
I really like the Maryland team, and why they're 2-5 is just a mystery to me. But when you look at what they have as far as players, James Guest is the go-to chemistry player. He can score points. Beckway's got to do the job inside to get it done. But where's DJ Strawberry and Mike Jones with consistency? When they pressure and force turnovers, they can get easy points. They had 14 points off of 9 turnovers against Florida State. But I think Gary Williams knows that this team has got to come together and put it together because they got the players to do it. Defense, offense comes, consistency is what they need.
I would go with Alabama off that list. I would put Maryland a very close second. I think the Crimson Tide has got 6 quality wins. You saw they had the highest RPI. That's not a big issue for me. I just think looking at those teams, Alabama would be the best out of those four. Now, when you look at their losses, all their losses, 4 or 5 of their losses came on the road. At Notre Dame, at Vanderbilt, at Auburn. They've had some injuries. They've lost some continuity because of the off-court issues that Jamario Davison has had to deal with, the death of his brother, the loss of his girlfriend. Those have certainly affected the team. When you look at a team like Kansas State or BYU, both those teams only had one win against the RPI top 70. That's why I put Alabama ahead of them.
Well, I mean, you look at Alabama, how can they be on the bubble at 16-5? I mean, this is a team, Jamario Davison's playing great down low, 31 points, 8 rebounds against LSU, and Alonzo G has been consistent in terms of points and rebounds, and they've been able to do this without their point guard, Ronald Field, who has not been 100%. So this is a team, especially playing Mississippi and Mississippi State a total of 4 times for the remainder of the season. I think they're going to be right there. But also like BYU, they've got Trent Blaisted. This is a team that has played a nice non-conference schedule with Michigan State, UCLA. They beat Air Force. I thought they should have been in the NCAA tournament last year over Air Force as well.
You know, one of the things you always say, Jay, when we debate these teams down the stretch is, if you think they're better, I'm not going to argue with you. So from a subjective standpoint, Digger, if you can take these numbers, they all look the same. What are you looking for subjectively from a team?
There's 3 characteristics I look for as a coach. 1, what type of team chemistry does this team really have? Who's the go-to guy that makes everybody else play better? Secondly, do they play defense? Yes, if they're aggressive and they go after and control the boards, they control the game. And thirdly, a point guard leadership. And that's the most important thing I look for in finding the 3 characteristics to find a good team.
Summed up, who's better?
Yeah, there you go.
Just win games.
Which ultimately is what they'll they'll do in that room when they select the field of 65, and we'll hash out all the numbers in the meantime. 3 guys, 1 shot. 3 guys, 1 shot from half court, and this crowd in Kansas will be able to choose which guy will take the shot. $15,000 on the line from half court for College Game Day from Fog Allen Fieldhouse. And coming up at the top of the hour, Joey Dorsey. He is a force on the board. Memphis taking on SMU. It's at the top of the hour. Memphis has won 10 in a row. They've got no bubble issue.
Super Bowl Sunday, live from Miami. Join the guys for a special 3-hour countdown beginning at 11 a.m. Wow. After the game, get a complete recap on SportsCenter and NFL Primetime. ESPN, your Super Bowl Sunday destination.
Everybody ready for this tournament? That's not good. I'm State Farm agent Al Sicard, and this is a true story.
They took everything, even the kids' uniforms.
Coach had to stay with the truck.
Al took them over to the mall. He got them new uniforms. He got them to the game just in time.
But our coach didn't make it. So I grabbed the clipboard, and I coached.
And they ended up winning the whole thing. He got them to play zone. I can't get them to play zone.
Great service and great rates. It's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor?
State Farm is there!
Innovative solutions from Siemens can be found everywhere by making buildings more efficient, communications better integrated, medical centers more advanced, power plants and transportation more modern. We're turning dreams into reality.
Here's how it works. Get the nation's slimmest smartphone for only $99.99. The Q. With easy access to email and Windows Mobile. It's the stylish way to work. From Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless broadband network. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
Everything's getting faster, sexier, and yet less expensive. So, why not cars? Say hello to the G6 sedan and G6 hardtop convertible. G6, one of the fastest growing brands in America. Pontiac, designed for action.
College Game Day is driven by State Farm. Great service, great rates. It's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. And in part by Siemens. And Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
Back at Fog Allen Fieldhouse, and $15,000 up for grabs. These our contestants to shoot the half-court shot. $5,000 cash if you make it. $10,000 into the general scholarship fund, courtesy of State Farm. If you make it, $1,000 if you miss. I'm going to let this crowd choose who's going to shoot. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. Let's hear it. Who wants Rock to shoot? What do you say, Rock? Not much support for Corey Kierkegaard, the freshman from Topeka. What about Chalk? Peter Broder from St. Louis, a little support. Now, what about Lynn Hollowperick, a freshman from the Kansas? He's Jayhawk. Put the shirt on, cover up that Bruce Pearl look that you got going there. And Lou Hollowperick, a freshman from Burnett, Kansas, will let one fly from half court. State Farm agent Dennis Garrison hands him the ball. Lenny, good luck, Len. About a foot short. Had he painted himself a little more effectively, perhaps Lynn Hollowperick would have knocked down the shot, but no $5,000 for him. State Farm will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund here at Kansas. What about your Pontiac game changer, Hubert?
Well, it has to be Derek Byers of Vanderbilt. He's been terrific defensively in terms of points and rebounds. In his last 7 games, he's averaging 20 points and 5 rebounds. And because of him, Vanderbilt is an NCAA tournament team.
Joe Crawford of Kentucky has got to keep it going for them. He's the go-to guy at 29 points after a loss at Georgia. And then, of course, he just makes things happen. They got a 7-game stretch coming up. Yes, at Arkansas, big game today.
I'm going with A.J. Graves of Butler, an outstanding guard, a great shooter, a guy who plays with pace. He can change speed, got a great feel for the game, just makes the right play, averaging over 18 points per game, 97% from the free throw line. He's made 98 out of 101. How did he miss those 3? He's got to concentrate.
My Pontiac game changer from the Wheat Shockers of Wichita State. Kyle Wilson leading a resurgence. They have Southern Illinois this afternoon. He got 24-8 on the road against Northern Iowa this week. This could be a season turning or a return for Wichita State if they can win the game at home. Our ESPNU Buffalo Wild Wing hot ticket to the game changer of the week was Kevin Durant, who dropped 37 and 23 on Texas Tech. That stacked up nicely with some of the great double-doubles college basketball history. Pistol Pete went for 53 and 12 assists against Ole Miss in 1970, and the great Jayhawk Wilt Chamberlain, 52 and 31. That was his varsity debut, guys, against Northwestern back in 1956. All right, guys, time for the Pontiac Saturday selection. What about Tennessee and Florida in the SEC?
I've got Florida. You look at Chris Walker, he's got 100% for Tennessee.
I think Florida just has it all together. Joe Kim Noah makes it work. Their offense is there. Humphrey shooting at 3s. Their defense is solid.
I like Florida. Tennessee relying too much on its guards, and Lee Humphrey shooting 70% from 3 in Southeastern Conference play.
Arkansas has been a very powerful team at home. They get the Wildcats in the Hog Pen.
Well, I've got Arkansas because Kentucky really struggled returning the ball over, especially on the road.
I think Kentucky takes care of the ball, doesn't turn it over. Randolph Morris in the paint, Joe Crawford on the perimeter. Get the Tubby Smith's defense. I like Kentucky.
Kentucky has won its last 6 against Arkansas. Joe Crawford plays better on the road than he does at home.
North Carolina is going on the road against North Carolina State, 3:30 Eastern Time on ABC.
I've got UNC, and I'm trying to figure out why they are booing North Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's depth. The freshmen are playing well. Defense is there. Tyler Hansborough, too much for NC State.
Yeah, North Carolina. NC State goes with 6 guys. They call it the 6-pack, and a 6-pack isn't going to be enough. They need a case against North Carolina.
And try to open up a can if they can. Payback game in the Pac-10, Oregon and USC.
Well, not payback here at USC. They don't have an answer. Cobb Kitchen, 18 points, 13 rebounds in that game.
Yeah, it could be a sweep for Oregon in L.A., losing to UCLA the other night. And now when you look at Aaron Brooks, he didn't play well. 4 for 13. That's not his game. I just think SEC and Southern Cal's too strong.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Southern Cal. And the guys they have to watch for, obviously Aaron Brooks, who plays very well against Southern Cal, but the other guy is Malik Harrison, who averages over 18 points when he plays at Southern Cal.
Hey, didn't that team used to be Arizona? The defense optional Wildcats against Washington.
No defense, a lot of offense. I think Washington outscored Arizona.
Washington's too young. They need a road win. It's not going to happen. Arizona needs to end their drought.
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona, but Marcus Williams has to play better. Only 11 points per game over his last 4.
Rematch, Ohio State and Michigan State, this time in East Lansing.
I've got Michigan State. I picked them last week. I'm staying with them until they win.
It'll be Michigan State. Too nice to get it going, but I just think their defense, getting the ball in the half-court game, they're really solid.
I'm going with Michigan State, but they got to get off to a better start. Last 2, they didn't start well against Ohio State and Illinois.
Indiana going on the road against Iowa.
I like Indiana. Tremendous balance offensively. DJ White down low, shooting 3-pointers.
You don't beat Wisconsin at home, then go on the road and lose to Iowa. Stay focused, get it done. Calvin Sampson, they know those kids can play now.
Indiana, because Iowa has a hard time guarding inside. DJ White had 23 and 12 last time against the Hawkeyes. Courtney Sims of Michigan had 29 on him the other night.
The alma mater of John Riggins, a Super Bowl hero. No Kansas player in the Super Bowl. Can't get an edge there. You're going with the Bears or the Colts?
I've got the Colts by 21 points.
Whoa! Wow. The Bears, the Bears, the Bears, Chicago, the Bears, Notre Dame, the Bears, Chicago.
I think the Bears are going to be very overconfident after seeing Peyton Manning in that tango video. I'm going with Indianapolis.
It is Super Bowl weekend. You know, this is the biggest game in the Big 12 so far. They don't play divisions per now from the Big 12 South has ever walked into Fog Allen Fieldhouse and beaten Kansas. Texas A&M is emerging as a national contender. This would be an exclamation point if Billy Gillespie's team, best defensive field goal percentage team in the country, could come in here against Kansas and beat the Jayhawks. Who do you have? Another road pick for you?
Well, I've got Kansas. This is a terrific defensive team, and the go-to guy right now has been Brandon Rush. He's been averaging 19 points a game over his last 3 games.
I think Kansas knows now that they have everything going their way playing A&M here to take over first place. I love their depth. I love their defense. If they extend it full court, make it a running game, A&M can't play in this type of game.
But the key is going to be how tough you are, because Texas A&M is a really tough defensive team. I think it's going to be Kansas in this ball game. I'm going Rock Chalk Jayhawks. Kansas wins this one.
You know, the frightening thing is the actual Kansas cheerleaders show their belly buttons with their uniforms. Thankfully, Jay didn't quite go that far. He is picking Kansas. It's a clean Rock Chalk Jayhawk sweep. The 12th man venturing into enemy territory here at the Fog to root on Billy Gillespie's Aggies. We're back at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Think this joint is jumping now. Let's add about 12,000 more people at 8 o'clock Eastern Time and get you set for Kansas and Texas A&M. Right now, SMU and Memphis coming up right now.
Just off of Beale Street here in downtown Memphis, the FedEx Forum, where the Memphis Tigers have put together one of the nation's longest home winning streaks. Today, they look for their 26th straight win at home against the Mustangs of SMU. And we welcome you to college basketball presented by Cars.com. Conference USA action today as SMU at 13-8 has as many wins already this year as they posted all of last season. Matt Doherty's club on the road to take on John Calipari's Memphis Tigers. Memphis perfect in the league. 8-0 SMU coming in with a record of 2-5 in league play. Terry Gannon along with Bill Raftery, glad to have you with us here.
This team has one of the best home court advantages in college basketball. Silky smooth and a workman on the board for Kansas. The Texas A&M hoping to lay down a new law in the Big 12. The Aggies trying to pull off the stunner in Lawrence. College game day ready to roll from Lawrence with a Rock Chalk house party.
Welcome to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
More than 16,000 people will pack this old barn to the rafters and the roof will be rocking. Jayhawks and Aggies for the Big 12 lead tonight in Lawrence. Fog Allen Fieldhouse, more than half a century. Jayhawks have won over 85% of their games. It's not just the crowd. It's big-time players like Brandon Rush, who shot the ball very well for Kansas, and A.C. Law, who's really stepped up the offense in Big 12 play for Billy Gillespie's team. team in Big 12 conference games. Only Kevin Durant has scored more. And Julian Wright leading the Jayhawks in rebounding, nearly 7.5 per game. He'll get a test from the big guys from the Aggies tonight. It's mentor against pupil, Bill Self against Billy Gillespie. We're going to have a great scene tonight for Texas A&M in Kansas. The gang's all here, and I'll tell you what, we couldn't get a better seat, could we? Right here on the baseline right now. Dick Vitale, you know what a great arena this is. In fact, you got some special moments in here, too.
I'll tell you one thing, Reese. You talk about the fog. It's right up there with the Cameron Indoor Stadium, with the Cameron Crazies, the Rock Chalk Jaywalk chant. I tell you, it is so special. I remember being here, getting so carried away, because normally I'm very shy and introverted, but I got really carried away when Mr. Collison got his 23rd rebound, and I gave him a standing ovation. It was a special moment. This is one of the great venues in all of college basketball.
That was the 2003 season. Both Kansas and Texas that year had great teams. Now it's Texas A&M who's jumped to the forefront. The winner of this game will take the lead in the Big 12. Plenty on this game coming up. We're going to take you around with what turned out to be an upset Saturday, guys. North Carolina on the road against North Carolina State. Roy Williams, the Tar Heels, thinking they'd own the Wolfpack of late. Watch this excellent execution, Jay, by the Wolfpack.
Well, a little screen and slip, taking it all the way to the basket. North Carolina didn't react defensively, not in position, seeing man and ball.
Engen Astor had 10 assists. Brandon Costner was strong, finished with 15 points. And Courtney Bell shot it well all day, Dick.
Yes, he did. They shot 60% for the game. Carolina did not guard the perimeter that well. State had a lot of confidence.
And McCauley and Astor again working together, Hubert.
Well, they did a good job offensively, but the key was Engen Astor. I mean, this is a guy at the point guard back from injury. They are 7-2 when he is in the lineup.
He had the bad hamstring, and Gavin Grant would finish with style.
I'll tell you, Grant is a real versatile player. I think it's the passion that's being brought to that club by Sidney Lowe. The love he has for his alma mater is being demonstrated.
7 minutes to go, things appear to get testy. Now Tyler Hansbrough, they hit him up with a tee down. He was just slapping at the ball, Jay.
Well, he might have been. He just reacted a little too quick. It looked funny in real time, and the referees called a tee on him.
Now, later in the half, NC State up by 9. Fells drains another tough one from the corner. State goes up by 11, but it's back down to 4. Hansbrough going the other way. Strong move to the cup.
Yeah, he takes it in strong, and he also scored 5 points in the paint when they're down 10 to cut it to 5.
And here goes Fells again, Dick.
I'll tell you, he was on fire. They really are special. Think about this. Sidney has a win as a player and now as a coach.
But those are the only two he had against North Carolina at NC State. Tar Heels desperate in the final moment. Couldn't get it to go, and North Carolina falls at the hands of NC State. A legitimate storming of the court, 83-79. And you see the way North Carolina State really improved on offense against Carolina today.
Oh, they did a terrific job. They shot 60% from the field. All 5 guys were in double figures. So when you shoot that well, you're not going to lose basketball games.
They only missed 4 shots from the floor in the second half. They were outstanding. Oregon and USC. Trojans going for the sweep of the Ducks. Second half, Oregon down by 3. I want you to keep your eye on Chamberlain Oguchi. Good Oregon ball movement. Brooks would find Oguchi.
Oguchi open. He had a rough shooting night. He knocks this one down, but Oregon usually does a pretty good job of spacing the floor and getting threes.
Daniel Hackett ahead of the field. SC goes up by 5. A minute later, Nick Young would find Hackett.
I'll tell you, Young has really been super, and Hutchinson on fire. Hackett can really shoot the ball. What a great story. You go to L.A. now, it's UCLA and Southern Cal, and you better come to play.
Bryce Taylor going strong. Ducks within 2. 10 seconds to go. Oguchi's going to try for the 3. Oregon able to work the glass. Brooks tried to get the tie, Digger.
He tried to get it, but it wasn't there. But give credit to Southern Cal. They just played a tough defense when they needed. And the end of this play, another chance to get it done. No. Sweep of the Ducks by Southern Cal.
USC wins it 71-68. The Ducks, the second top 10 team to get knocked off. And the road game's a little bit tough for the Ducks. They had the Washington swing, now the Southern California swing. They go 1-3. Their only victory overtime at Wazoo.
You know, I don't call this a big upset at all. I mean, really, Southern Cal at home, very tough to beat. And wait till they get O.J. Mayo next year. Move over to Kobe Bryant.
Okay, if you don't call this one an upset, this next one I believe you'll have to. Oklahoma State on the road at Colorado. Sean Sutton and the Pokes. Oklahoma State down by 4. James on Curry was knocked down to 3. He finished with 20. Pokes had a 1-point lead, but Colorado pushed it out to 12. Hubert, Xavier Silas gets the friendly roll.
Oklahoma State on the road has really struggled. They've lost their last 4 road games by an average of 20 points.
Richard Roby in the post. He kicked it out to Calvin Bay. C to 3, B to 3. 15-point lead for the Buffs. Still 14-point edge, and Bay would do it again.
You know, Colorado played with nothing to lose, with a free mind in this game, and Oklahoma State needed to deliver a knockout blow early, and they didn't. They didn't bring the intensity they need on the road.
Dominic Coleman once, and then he does it again.
Does it again. He's wide open under the gets a layup. And the other thing they did, they go 21 for 27 the second half on free throws. That's why they won the game. They closed it out.
89 to 77. OK State with 3 straight road losses. Maybe this will satisfy your upset quality. Kansas State and Texas. Kevin Durant off the miss.
I tell you, Kevin Durant was sensational against the Diaper Dandies, but Kansas State had an answer. Unbelievable story. They've won now 7 in a row.
Durant would finish with 32 points. He had 5 blocks in the game, but Cartier Martin came up with big shots for Huggy Bear.
Well, Cartier Martin's one of the best players in the country, an outstanding performer. You can see he screens here and then spaces out a little screen and flare. Catch, squares up. He had 27 points in the ball game against Texas. Made a lot of big shots.
Wildcats would take the 3-point lead, and Texas desperately needed to get something to go. Durant going strong, cuts the lead to 1. Under 5 seconds to go, and here's where Texas really didn't get a great look at the goal.
No, they didn't. They wanted to get a better look, but you have to compliment Kansas State. They did a terrific job on DJ Augustine, keeping him out of the lane.
Kansas State beats Texas 73-72. First time they've won an Austin since 1983. But remember, these two teams weren't in the same conference until 96 with the advent of the Big 12. So really their first win in Austin since the advent of the Big 12. Cartier Martin in his last 7 has just been outstanding. Cartier Martin leading Kansas State to the victory. Several highly ranked teams going down, some unexpectedly. Perhaps most notably, North Carolina. What happened to the Tar Heels?
Well, they struggled defensively. I mean, this was a team that did get into passing lanes. They forced 22 turnovers against NC State, but they didn't contest shots. NC State, for the game, shot 60% from the field. They only missed 4 shots in the second half, and this is coming from a team that over the last 5 games was holding teams to 40% from the field. So you really have to compliment NC State offensively. They did an excellent job of executing.
There's no question about it, but how many times is North Carolina going to force 22 turnovers in a game and lose?
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the big factors for North Carolina, they really showed their youth in this game on the road against NC State. Their offense was stagnant. They wound up bunching up inside of the 3-point line, and they weren't getting a lot of good shots. They wound up taking shots off of one pass, and as a result, they weren't getting a lot of offensive rebounds. This is a North Carolina team that is much more powerful than North Carolina State, and they just didn't do a very good job on the offensive end. Even though they gave up a good shooting night to North Carolina State, on the offensive end, North Carolina didn't execute the way a mature team is supposed to on the road, and that was the difference. I think they're going to learn a lot from this game and carry it forward and really be a great team by the end of the year.
Well, you know, Jay, they definitely learned from the Virginia Tech loss. Then they came back, they focused, they played defense. You can't allow teams to shoot 60%. But as you and I were talking off the air, people have a tendency to forget that Herb Sending did a great job with NC State. But I'm telling you now, Sidney Lowe is a rising star. He will recruit, he will build off a game like this. He had the win over Virginia Tech, and he's playing without the kid Andrew Brackman. Can you imagine if he were in a lineup, the big 6'11" kid who decided to be a Randy Johnson and throw the fastball?
Well, you know what? You get that big-time money in baseball, too. Hey, I tell you, Sidney Lowe is the signature win for him, but also a resume-building and signature win for Bob Huggins in Kansas State.
Bob Huggins needed a quality win on the road, a resume win, as we call it, to put themselves into where they get credibility. They're now 6-2 in the conference. They've won 6 straight conference games. but more importantly, they made 14 threes out of 27 shot attempts today, which means Texas had no respect defensively to guard the three. But Huggy Bear, we all know what he did at Cincinnati. They're always physical teams. They're aggressive. A.J. Abrams goes like 2 for 14, one of the better scorers in Texas. And credit their defense in clutch time situations. Bob Huggins being in the Big 12 is another quality coach, because the Big 12, to me, is always one of those conferences that has great coaches.
And while other coaches are going with the mock turtleneck, Bob has gone with the purple sweater. Don't discount the purple sweater.
The sweater vest, it's almost Pretzel-esque, at least in its effectiveness. Hey, Kansas, the next trip for Bob Huggins. He's in here on Wednesday night. And he'll have a little chance to celebrate that, then he has to worry about this one. Texas gets Texas A&M next, but this game that we're going to see, Kansas and the Aggies tonight, Dick, for the Big 12 lead. And speaking of guys who first programs around, Billy Gillespie at Texas A&M done a magnificent job.
Well, I'll tell you, Billy Gillespie, to me, he's the Frank Lloyd Wright of coaching. Just like Bobby Cremins was, Jim Calhoun was when he went to Connecticut, and you certainly could say Lute Olson at Arizona. I don't know about you guys, but I never thought that he could turn that program at Texas A&M around as quickly as he's done. Remember this, if they win 20 games this year, it'll be the first time in the history of the school to win 20 games 3 consecutive years. Goes to the NCAA this year, it'll be the first time 2 consecutive years to the NCAA. He's done it with defense, with shot selection, and he's brought toughness, just like Huggins has brought down there to Manhattan. A special toughness. I'll tell you, tonight will be tough. I can't wait. I haven't been to College Station in 26 years. I did a game there in 1981. I'm going Monday for Mr. Durant and company. Then Wednesday it's Carolina Duke. Saturday it's Kentucky, Florida. And we're getting paid for this. Unbelievable.
You live the life.
Steal the money, man.
You are the king.
Oh, that's why I act about 12. I act about 12. I want the future, not of Digger because he's my age. I want the future of Jay, a future of Hubert, and a future of you. I want a little piece of the action.
Yeah, Digger's future, Digger's future is getting shorter and shorter. Dick will call the game with Dan Shulman and Aaron Andrews tonight. Digger's throwing him out of here. Sasha Khan, the big fella that Bill Self would like to get more out of. He'll be tested by Kavalauskas and Joseph Jones of the Aggies inside tonight. Texas A&M and Kansas coming up in just a little while. Still to come on College Game Day. The SEC is an absolute mess on the western side. Which team is starting to show its true colors? And Texas, we saw that Durant and company fell. Is that the biggest disappointment of the day? We'll put the day in perspective with the upset losses. And Julian Wright, that's not the only round ball that Julian Wright knows how to handle. He's living the life.
Woo! This group, come on! Woo!
It's not easy going it alone. That's why we're making it easier than ever to get a State Farm agent for car insurance. Call an agent's office 24/7. Stop by or go to statefarm.com to get an agent who's there for you. Online, on the phone, or in the office. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Innovations from Siemens can be found everywhere. By integrating communications, building technologies, and advanced medical systems, we're creating digital hospitals that can provide higher quality patient care. Siemens, we're turning dreams into reality.
Everything's getting faster, sexier, and yet less expensive. So, why not cars? Say hello to the G6 sedan, G6 coupe, and G6 hardtop convertible. G6, one of the fastest growing brands in America. Pontiac, designed for action.
All right, customer service. Well, there's Sally. She's your new customer, and she worries. But
If you ship her order with UPS, it'll email her. Hey, Sally, I'm leaving the warehouse. Now it notifies her. Hey, Sally, took a left in Louisville. Now it writes, hey, I'm right downstairs. Look, Sally's smiling. It's not customer service. It's your customer service with UPS.
This winter, prepare for the fire. In theaters, Nicolas Cage stars in Ghost Rider.
I'm the only one who can walk in both worlds. I'm Ghost Rider.
One man can't escape the fire.
All right? Yeah, I'm good. I feel like my skull's on fire, but I'm good.
But on the court, some men create it. Ghost Rider opens in theaters February 16th. And watch college basketball all season long on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC.
College Game Day is driven by State Farm. Great service, great rates. It's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. And in part by Siemens. And Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
You're in that Kansas locker room. Keep your feet off the logo, Billis.
What they put it on the floor for?
Why
Two places in a row, Carolina and Kansas.
What's wrong with the little hallowed ground in the locker room? We need some defense. Bill Self turns to Mario Chalmers. Leads the team with 60 twice this season. Be hard-pressed to get him out of the hands of AC Law and Company, A&M, and Kansas coming up at the top of the hour. In the Big Ten, Northwestern and Wisconsin, Bo Ryan and the Badgers looking for their 19th straight at home. The veterans, Cameron Taylor, Orlando Tucker.
Yeah, when you want to go inside, just look for Orlando Tucker. 20 big points today.
Wisconsin had an 8-point lead. Michael Flowers, let's go to the baseline. All 5 defenders would converge.
Draw the defense, right. Great move, and then you find him. He's open. Flowers hits a big shot for the 3.
Defensive breakdown by Northwestern. Jason Bohannon was wide open there. Later in the half, Marcus Landry to steal.
Nice
Tucker. How about good look there?
I'll get it.
Look at Joe Kravenhoff working.
Well, inside, scoring inside, but Brian Butch only 1 for 3, only 4 points, but a plus today for the Badgers. 16 for 20 to the free throw line when they've been shooting 68%.
Badgers shot 47% from 3. They win it by 17. Ohio State and Michigan State, a rematch of last week. College Game Day matchup that came down to the final seconds. Oden working inside. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they did a nice job of establishing a post. He had 16 points and 11 rebounds down low in the paint.
Here goes the freshman point guard, Mike Conley. Mike Conley finished. He had 10 points. Oden now taking his game away from the basket a little.
Yeah, you can tell that his wrist is feeling a little bit better. He's catching the ball outside of the block, showing a beautiful right-hand jump hook.
Remember last week, second half when the Spartans came roaring back. Goran Sukan over Oden, a 6-point game. Then Drew Neitzel certified Drew Namath.
Yeah, but you look at Drew Neitzel, he had 24 points in the game, 6 threes. He had 29 last week, 25 in the second half.
Apparently, he likes playing against that Buckeye defense. Sukan knocking down the jumper. He had 16. Already within 1. Ohio State had pushed it back to 5. Conley, Lewis, bottom.
Well, Ohio State did a nice job of getting the ball down low to Oden, but also shooting a perimeter shot. That was 1 of 6 3-pointers for Ohio State.
Oden draws the foul. He finished up with 16-11. His disc lead. Othello Hunter, the other big guy for the Buckeyes, with the baptism. Ohio State on the road, 63-54. They sweep Michigan State, Indiana, and Iowa. Kelvin Sampson a little upset with his players and trying to get Earl Callaway's attention there. Steve Alford, likewise, I'm sure, with Cyrus Tate. No harm, no foul.
No, both teams knew how important this game was. They wanted full attention and concentration.
Adam Haleska, the Big Ten leading scorer, knocks one down, and then Haleska again.
Well, Tyler Smith does a terrific job of stealing this ball, then finding Haleska. Haleska had 33 points, the leading scorer in the Big Ten.
The great hustle, as Jay mentioned, by Smith. He had 18 points, 7 assists, and 9 rebounds. Haleska, not only the Big Ten's leading scorer, playing tough D.
Doing a great job of getting a deflection. They couldn't see inside to DJ White, who only had 6 points after getting 23 and 12 last time Indiana played Iowa.
Iowa's big guys haven't been the best rebounders in the world. Did a good job in this game, 81-75. They outworked the Hoosiers on the board, and they win it by 6. So now the Big Ten standings look like this. Wisconsin and Ohio State with a 2-game lead on the field right now, Jim.
And how about Iowa jumping up to 5-4? Steve Alford and his staff doing a terrific job with that team. The scouting, the spacing, doing a great job.
In the SEC, the number 1 team in the country, the Florida Gators against Tennessee. Billy Donovan's team lost twice to Bruce Pearl and company last year. Joakim Noah said he came back to beat Pearl twice. Watch Walter Hodge open pass to the hoop. Dan Werner, beautiful bounce pass. Hodge had a dozen. Gators starting to pull away early, and then Al Horford had a huge game.
No, he was absolutely fantastic. 22 points, career high, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists down low on the post for Florida.
But it's easy when they draw those arrows for him.
Yeah. Showed him where to go. Lee Humphrey shooting it as well as anyone in the country, knocked it down, and then Horford with the rejection of Juwan Smith. Zane Bradshaw. Bradshaw was the guy with the game-winning bucket in the 2 regular season games last year. He didn't get much done, and here is the aforementioned Mr. Noah. He had 19. Florida out-rebounded Tennessee 40-21.
Well, Tennessee's going to struggle. This is their 4th consecutive game without Chris Lawson. They're 1-3 in that area.
Corey Brewer came down awkwardly here. His hyperextended knee walk off under his own power. Gators roll 94-78. Alabama coming off a huge road win against LSU at home against South Carolina. Second half, game tied at 54. Mikhail Riley spots up.
Mikhail Riley had a terrific ball game. He had 15 points in the game to go with Richard Hendricks, who dominated the glass.
Hendricks and Riley, 2-man game. There's Hendricks on the jump hook. Alabama by 3. South Carolina down to 3. Dwayne Day. Nice little fake here, Jay.
Gets everybody off their feet. You've got to stay down and leave your feet when the shooter does.
About 90 seconds to go. Alonzo G. Good look to Hendricks inside. He finished with 14. Alabama gets even in the SEC at 4-4. They beat South Carolina by 3. Kentucky and Arkansas. Tubby is mocking.
Yeah, how about that? That must be a new trend.
How about Ramel Bradley? Bradley got hot in the second half.
Bradley had 22 of his 24 in the second half. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals.
Sonny Weems with the finish. Hodge go up by 8. He had 14, but Joe Crawford had an answer.
Crawford hits 13 points, but the thing was, forcing 19 turnovers against Arkansas. That was the difference in the game, Kentucky's defense.
And the block by Randolph Morris, the freshman Jody Meeks, hitting everybody to the rim. He had 6 of his 7 shots, had 15 points. Meeks, again, ahead of the field.
Big slam dunk. They played the passing lanes very, very well. Tubby team needed the road win. They got it against Arkansas, who's very dangerous at home.
82-74 catch. LSU in free fall. Final 4 last year. Big baby back on the road at Mississippi State. Glenn Davis, there's the big fella inside. 27-10. LSU 48-47. But then the Bulldogs would get it going. Deepak Slater.
Well, LSU didn't play any defense. They allowed Mississippi State 13 threes. 4 guys for Mississippi State in double figures,
including Reginald Delk, who had 5 3-pointers. Stansbury team 85-78. Clearly, Florida, the class of the SEC and of the SEC East. The West, meanwhile, is a jumble. Alabama's the only team at 500. 4-4 record. And Georgia and Vanderbilt. Georgia was only 3 conference losses. Likewise for Vanderbilt. That's an 8-point game right now. Georgia and Vanderbilt in Nashville. Vanderbilt has the lead by 8 playing in Nashville right now. Still to come on College Game Day. UCLA took care of business in a hurry. Time to clear the bench, and it didn't take the Bruins long. They try to make their march towards the tournament. UConn just hoped to get in the tournament, but they had a finish you won't believe.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Not good.
The board's asking questions. Hard questions.
About our global integration strategy.
Global integration strategy?
You know, the world is flat.
Do we have a strategy for that?
That's what they want to know.
Uh-oh. Boy.
Oh, no.
Not good.
They're looking for innovation.
A plan.
A schedule. Answers.
Soon.
Yesterday.
No. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Not good.
What do we do?
The 99-cent Buffalo Snack are only from KFC. Where else can you find 100% breast meat smothered in authentic buffalo sauce for just 99 cents? That's right, just like the original KFC Snacker, it's still just 99 cents. Your dollar goes further at KFC.
Chocolates are an absolute must.
If he doesn't bring chocolate to me on Valentine's Day,
We're talking trouble.
I'm in big trouble.
I'm in the doghouse.
You're in the doghouse.
Don't give her just any chocolates. Give her Russell Stover chocolates with the famous Russell Stover bow.
Dial for men.
Here's to your man suit. Your hair-covered, meat-powered man suit. Not to be dried out, perfumed up, or metrosexualized, but worn like a man. And man, this is for that mighty man suit. Dial for Men cleans without drying.
Not dry.
So you can say, I feel good being a man.
Yeah!
Dial for Men Body Wash. Maintenance for your man suit.
Super Bowl Sunday, live from Miami, the Sunday NFL Countdown Team.
Let me tell you what we engaged. Matchups in desire.
Loaded with big game experience.
Super Bowls define careers.
And ready for a special 3-hour edition beginning at 11 a.m. Wow. After the game, a complete recap on SportsCenter.
SportsCenter's coverage of the 9th Super Bowl in Miami continues.
Followed by Boomer and TJ's one-of-a-kind analysis on NFL Primetime.
Smell the pigskin.
ESPN, your Super Bowl Sunday.
All is a great place to have a car dealership. I mean, it's right in the middle of the Brazos Valley. It's close to everything. I mean, it's just a conversation away from anywhere. We like it out here. It's quiet out here. And if you want to come out here and just look around, don't want anybody to talk to you, fine. Just come on out and look around. You don't have to wait till midnight or till Sunday afternoon to come out here and look at cars if you don't want to talk to anybody. Just come out, look, take your time, browse around.
Elevate your nightlife.
Welcome back to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
Kansas spent $8 million renovating Fog Allen Fieldhouse, part of it a stunning entryway that pays tribute to some of the Jayhawk legends, including Wilt Chamberlain. Took the team to the national championship game, a dominant force here at Kansas before he went on to a great career in the pros. They did not win the national championship. The Siemens Trophy goes to the team that wins it all at the end of the season. Kansas hoping to be able to keep that Siemens Trophy in Lawrence. And UCLA, which won the national title 11 times, came within a game of getting it last year, looked like a champion against Oregon State at home. Josh Shipp on the finish.
Well, I mean, this game was done from the start, and this is why UCLA has a chance to win a national championship. They held Oregon State to 35 points for the game.
Hey, I had some advice for Oregon State at halftime. What was it, Hubert?
Go to the bus. Great crew. Forget about the locker room. Just go straight to the bus and go to Corvallis.
Recruit. 40-point lead for the Bruins. Ryan Wright finishing down low. 82-35. UCLA looked awesome. Arizona hasn't looked anything like awesome of late. Washington coming into Luke's house, and Luke's team played much better. Juwan McClellan had 15 points, and then Marcus Williams and Chase Budding.
Marcus Williams getting the alley-oop pass to the great athlete Budinger, but I thought they were more impressive, Reese, on the defensive end. They held Washington to 37% from the field. Jordan Hill did a terrific job inside. That got their running game going. Arizona looked like a different basketball team than they have over the last 8 games.
But Hill started. Hill had 5 blocks on the day. Defensive presence, 30-point win for the Wildcats. McClellan coming off the bench. Let's tell you what, Arizona, they have not been to 3. They have not been at unison with the triple. They went on a stretch where they hit 1 of 32 from 3. Just Washington on Saturday, a little bit better behind the arc.
And even though this team hasn't been playing well, they're still dangerous. In fact, I wrote about it on my website. Wow.
Arizona has struggled a little bit over there last night. Got it turned around against Washington. Providence and Marquette, the great Wayne Wade took his team to the Final Four. Nice player. Marquette history to have his jersey retired. Emotional moment with Tom Friedman and David Kubian squares up and knocks down the three. Golden Eagles up by 10 and Kubian again.
Well, when you look at what happens in this play, he makes things happen, getting it done. Dominic James, though, had a bad game, 2 for 11, 6 points. McNeil was the factor, 18 points, 12 rebounds.
62-56, Marquette leads. Gerard Curry had 17. Marquette's lead went down to 4, but Dan Fitzgerald, he had 14. Marquette wins it by 7. Golden Eagles turn it over 21 times, still able to get the 7-point victory. Louisville and Villanova. Tino and the Cardinals have place to play. Brandon Jenkins misses the quick 3. Earl Clark led everybody with 14 points.
He was really the only offense that Louisville had. Villanova did a pretty good job defensively. Neither team shot the ball real well. Curtis Sumter knocking one down. He had 10 points.
Wildcats have the lead. Terrence Williams driving. Juan Palacios the layup. 2-point game now. 30 seconds later, Scotty Reynolds.
Scotty Reynolds had 10 assists in this ball game. Again, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but Villanova dominated the glass, especially the offensive glass. That was the difference.
That snap, the 4-game winner for Louisville. Rutgers and UConn, 7 ticks to go. Stanley Robinson can put the game away. UConn have lost 5 in a row. Now Rutgers and Anthony Farmer, they've got a chance.
Does anybody know how to defend a full-court situation? Rutgers does a heck of a job to advance the ball and get a good shot to tie the game at 47.
In overtime, UConn hit 14 free throws to Rome. Dyson doing it there. 61-50. UConn avoids absolute disaster. Now this is the bottom 6 in the Big East, and the reason we show you this, of course, only the top 12 teams in the conference go to New York City for the Big East tournament.
What would be interesting if Connecticut doesn't make it, it would be the first time in the history of the Big East tournament that Connecticut doesn't show up at Madison Square Garden.
UConn right now perhaps in a little better position than some, but still in a dicey situation. And here come the Jayhawks. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk, but the Aggies will be ready for them coming up at the top of the hour. One of those Jayhawks, Julian Rice, supremely talented, but he has a hobby that now borders on obsession. He's living the life.
The Arena Football League begins March 4th on ABC.
Both the rich tapestry of love and devotion, remote the sweet saccharine of all that devotion. Twist, snap, I love you. Twist, snap, I love you.
Passion comes in many colors. The Pontiac Solstice.
I came to collect a head. Hannibal Lecter? Yes.
This Friday,
He was killed in the woods. His face had been eaten.
discover the origin of evil. The year's most terrifying thriller.
Talking out. Never. What he is now. There's no word for it.
Animal Rising. Radar in theaters Friday.
Only Pizza Hut Pan Pizza gives America more to love. And no wonder it was preferred over Domino's and Papa John's almost 2-1 in a national taste test. Right now, get any pan pizza, any toppings for just $10. Want more taste? Get America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut.
Well, my credit card miles expired, but don't worry, Daddy's got a plan. Orlando, here we come! Is there meal service on this flight? Oh, yummy! Who wants some? Hang on! Bone weevil! Isn't this fun? We should have switched to Capital One!
Get Capital One's no hassle rewards with no miles expiration, no earn caps, and no blackout dates. Check your mailbox.
Oh, that's different!
What's in your wallet?
Way outside for the three. It's good.
There is just something magical about this rivalry.
Behind the back,
The definition of competition. Rivalry Week, presented by Cisco, begins Monday at 7 on ESPN.
back at Bog Allen Fieldhouse, where tonight we'll see Kansas and Texas A&M rivalry week is upon us. Big Monday starts with Syracuse, UConn. Then we'll see the same Aggies that we see tonight against Kevin Durant and Texas, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, available on ESPN HD. Kind of budding rivalry going on here. Joseph Jones and the Aggies trying to become the first team from the Big 12 South to win in Kansas House. Former Bill Self assistant at Illinois and Tulsa, Billy Gillespie, now the boss of the Aggies. He's wired.
Scope. Brent, change direction. Beat it. Go, Brent. Nothing's going to be open if you're going to walk the ball off the ball screen. Sprint at him and sprint down, Junior. Sprint at him and sprint down. Sprint! Stop. Is that a sprint? Get out. Let's go. Play it. Guard him, Bo. Forget about your one-on-one deal with D-Row. We're trying to get Josh a three-point shot. If you're going to be that slow, Junior, that ain't never going to work. Sprint up here and then sprint. Come on, Marlon, let's go.
Well, Gillespie and Bill Self remain very close. Self telling us yesterday that Gillespie has done as good a job as anyone in the country at establishing a program. Bill Self has done a pretty good job himself since his arrival here among the Big Six conferences. No one has a better conference record than the Jayhawks under Bill Self, but he's not always happy. In fact, Self was rather aggravated with Julian Wright last week when Wright attempted an open floor windmill dunk and had the ball slip out of his hand. Even his fellow students giving him some grief. Some of the crowd here telling Julian during warm-up tonight, you owe us a windmill dunk, and Wright was able to oblige. Doesn't mean he's totally lived down what he might call a basketball gutter ball. Andy Katz with Julian Wright, living the life.
Well, I'm here at the Towers on the campus of Kansas University with sophomore Julian Wright. All right, Julian, I don't know if we should go in there. Is it all right to go in there?
Yeah, it's pretty good. This is our place. This is where all the fun happens.
We got a little Dr. Seuss here?
This is a little inside joke. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them Sam onions. So I can read. I can definitely read.
Now, one of your passions, I know, academically is poetry. Do you got any poetry to share?
I'm hungry. I have an appetite like one of the clubs got. That's why I stay in the gym and work on my jump shot. Oh, well, this is my favorite pastime outside basketball right now. I like to come here, just get away from basketball.
Now, you've named your ball, is that right?
It's been named. It's the Big Bully. Oh, woo! That's tough right there. That is not the Cleveland air ball. Cleveland air ball is just...
You gutter it.
That was just a bad miss. Yeah. Woo! That's it right there. That's it. That's the one I've been waiting for. 1-3.
120-109.
Man. There's an injury in the room.
I'll take a second place to Julian, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wright scored okay in bowling against Andy, and he scored very well against Nebraska on Big Monday in the Jayhawks blowout. Julian Wright in Kansas gets a very good Texas A&M defensive team tonight, Digger. What's the key to the game?
Well, I think the key's got to be one thing that Kansas doesn't do well, second chance points. Even when they won in overtime at Iowa State and played lousy against Missouri at home, yeah, they blew out Oklahoma State by 30, but I think this is one thing you got to do to go far in the NCAA tournament, get second chance points, because you're not going to make all those perimeter shots.
And which is a key for Kansas's defense. Kansas has to do a really good job of pushing the tempo. And one of the ways they do that is with their first shot defense. Getting great pressure on the ball so that Texas A&M can't see inside to their big guys and limiting them to one shot and running off that rebound.
Well, both of these teams are terrific defensively, but who is going to be able to establish the post, get high percentage points in the lane, open up your perimeter game? Sasha Khan of Kansas and Joseph Jones of Texas A&M.
Self's been a little aggravated with some of his big guys. Wants them to be a little more physical. That really hasn't been a problem for Joseph Jones and the Aggies. Texas A&M, the best field goal percentage defense in the country. Kansas not bad. They're number 5. You get an open shot, you better knock it down. They're going to be few and far between. We'll come back to the Fog, let you experience one of the great traditions here at Kansas, the singing of the Kansas alma mater. One of the great venues in college basketball in a top 10 battle tonight.
The 99-cent Buffalo Snacker only from KFC. Where else can you find 100% breast meat smothered in authentic buffalo sauce for just 99 cents? That's right, just like the original KFC Snacker, it's still just 99 cents. Your dollar goes further at KFC.
Women love chocolate.
Women love chocolate. I can't ever remember not loving chocolate.
I have to be honest, it is about chocolate.
I would love some Russell Stovers for Valentine's Day.
Don't give her just any chocolates. Give her Russell Stover chocolates with the famous Russell Stover bow.
The Florida Gators are national champions. Celebrate with Sports Illustrated's exclusive championship package, including the official DVD, the complete telecast of the BCS National Championship game with special bonus features. Plus, this limited edition hardcover commemorative book relives the Gators' incredible season with SI's great writing and photography. Both great gifts are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated for only $1.59 an issue. Save 60% off the cover price. Use your credit card, and you'll also get this officially licensed championship T-shirt. On the back are all the scores from the spectacular season of the national champion Florida Gators. Go to sigatorsoffer.com or call now to get the official DVD, the commemorative book, and the championship T-shirt that says it all.
Call 1-800-678-8300 now or go online to sigatorsoffer.com.
Super Bowl Sunday, live from Miami, the Sunday NFL Countdown Team.
Let me tell you what wins games. Matchups and desire.
Loaded with big game experience.
Super Bowls define careers.
And ready for a special 3-hour edition beginning at 11 a.m.
Wow.
After the game, a complete recap on SportsCenter.
SportsCenter's coverage of the 9th Super Bowl in Miami continues.
Followed by Boomer and TJ's one-of-a-kind analysis on NFL Primetime.
Smell the pigskin.
ESPN, your Super Bowl Sunday.
You've heard about the dramatic and life-changing results surgical weight loss can produce. Now there's an opportunity to see if laparoscopic bypass or lap band surgery is right for you. St. Joseph now offers both types of procedures. To learn more, make plans to attend one of St. Joseph's free surgical weight loss seminars and learn about these life-changing procedures. The seminars are free, the information priceless. Registration is required, so call 821-7556 for seminar dates and times.
Everybody buys the cars at the same prices. Some people can sell them cheaper than others. We can do that. I don't have any overhead out here. You know, I got sales guys that love selling cars. I love selling cars. I mean, price is important. There's no doubt about it. Everybody's concerned about price. We will always be cheaper. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Welcome back to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
The energy is starting to build in Fog Allen Fieldhouse, where Kansas produced 14 undefeated seasons in its history. Unbeaten this year, Oral Roberts came in and upset the Jayhawks, but at home in the Big 12, Kansas has been tough as we go on the floor. Julian Wright can be a dynamic offensive presence.
Oh, yeah, he can. Defensively, he's terrific. He really gets Kansas going in the fast break, but offensively, they want him to be more aggressive on the offensive end. He can really do it down low in the post and also at the high post as well.
You're missing that windmill dunk against Colorado. Came back with 17 against Nebraska. Here's the offensive firepower.
This is the guy that's got to take this team over in crunch time. He can score. He can go to the hole. He can shoot in the perimeter. He can make things happen with his own creativity. He's a must for the Jayhawks to get a run at the Final Four because of what he can do with his ability.
Now, inside, the Jayhawks would like to experience the wrath of Khan.
They would, and he's done a really good job over the last 5 or 6 games. Sasha Khan is long-armed. He runs in transition. position. He does a good job of setting screens and playing off those screens. But I think what Kahn and the other Kansas big guys have to do a better job of is taking ownership of the glass. Right now in Big 12 play, Brandon Rush is leading this team in rebounding. That cannot be for Kansas to be a championship team.
To use Bill Self's word, that's sad. That's what he said. Here's the glue guy for the Jayhawks.
Well, yeah, he is. I mean, he's going to be using both ends of the floor. Russell Roberts got the knockdown, three-point jump shots, and defensively, he is the guy that will be going against A.C. Law defensively, keeping him out of the lane.
A.C. Law 7th in the Big 12 scoring.
This is the one guy that can control this game tonight. Even against Oklahoma last week at home, he scored 12 points in the last 4 minutes of the game of his 19 points for the game. He's got to get it done.
And the Jayhawks stacking it up, much to the delight of their faithful. Over 16,000 will pack into Fog Allen Fieldhouse tonight. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere, couple of top 10 teams, first place in the Big 12 at stake, and you'll be able to feel the essence of the Fog with the KU alma mater when we come back.
Anyway, that's the control room. A lot of chaos there, but it all looks good when it comes out in the show, actually, thanks to those people. Then over here in the digital center is our highlight screening area. So that's where we get all the games that are played that night, down in a 90-second or 2-minute clips or whatever you're going to see on SportsCenter right now. This hallway, it runs between, both rooms. If you want to get from the control room to the screening, then this is the hallway you'd take. Questions or anything? I can answer whatever you want about the place. Nothing?
When my brother started selling auto insurance, I got a little pressure to use them.
A little? I'm State Farm Agent Amy Kaplan, and this is a true story. I didn't pressure you. I think blood is thicker than water.
So with some of his staff, we switched from State Farm to him.
The service is horrible.
Well, he wouldn't call me back, and he's my brother.
So I called him, and he was ready to switch back. State Farm treated us like family.
Yeah, better.
Great service and great rates, it's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today. Like a good neighbor?
State Farm is there.
Everything's getting faster, sexier, and yet less expensive. So, why not cars? Say hello to the G6 sedan, G6 coupe, and G6 hardtop convertible. G6, one of the fastest growing brands in America. Pontiac, designed for action.
Only Pizza Hut Pan Pizza gives America more to love. And no wonder it was preferred over Domino's and Papa John's almost 2-to-1 in a national taste test. Right now, get any pan pizza, any toppings for just $10. Want more taste? Get America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut.
As you can see on my chart here, sales have exceeded...
What is that?
Small business owner. They come in looking for loans.
But we only care about big business.
Quarter. Our cash... Whoa. Our cash...
Do they normally catch on fire like that? Yeah, let's get some lunch.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. Check your mailbox.
Hello, Capital One?
What's in your wallet? Oh, I want a loan. I want a loan.
College Game Day is driven by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And in part by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA. And Siemens.
Fine tingling moment as the fans here at Fog Allen sing the Kansas alma mater. Tech and Boston College in the ACC. Seth Greenberg's team, all of a sudden struggling. Jared Dudley is not. BC up by 7.
You know, those guys just really played so well. When you get Rice, Dudley, and Marshall playing together, they scored 60 points today. Big win against Virginia Tech. Puts them right back in the picture of being one of the powers in the ACC at home.
It would be advisable to guard Dudley. He was 11 of 15 from the floor. Finished with 30 points, 13 rebounds. BC blows out Virginia Tech, 80-59. Clemson and Georgia Tech. Javaris Britton in the press. We saw him against North Carolina. A little shaky today, not so much.
Well, I mean, he's been struggling of late, but today he was shooting 26 points, 6 assists. He did have 6 turnovers, but he's very aggressive on the defensive end.
Steal the punch. Tech up by 7. Tech up by 11. Crittenden would show off a little bit. Grabs the board and then a little fake, show it to him and put it in.
Well, you know, Clemson, they went off to a 17-0 start, 1-5 since, struggling from those heartbreaking losses to Virginia and Duke. They'll bounce back later in the season.
80-62, Tech wins. In the Missouri Valley, Southern Illinois, Wichita State. Mark Burton's team seemingly had it turned around. Southern Illinois owns this game.
Well, Southern Illinois really came out strong defensively. This is a tight-knit group, and they are a bunch of winners. They got the ball inside to Randall Falker at 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He was terrific.
TJ Kuznar trying to bring the Wheat Shockers back. Lead down to 10. Jamal Tatum to match off.
Well, Jamal Tatum had another terrific ball game, 18 points, but it was the defense. I'm telling you, the Southern Illinois team held Wichita State to 27% from the field. They can guard you.
How about going into their house, a team that had played well, and holding them in both halves, well under 30%?
And not necessarily a team that's going to score a lot against you. Creighton still may be the best team in this league, though, as good as Southern Illinois is.
Southern Illinois with the gaudy RPI number and with a half-game lead in the Valley. Ryder and Iona, why this one? Because Jeff Ruin and the Gales 0-22 coming into this game. Devon Clark leading Iona with 19. They're dancing in New Rochelle.
That's Rider University. My alma mater gives them their first win of the year.
Well, they probably found out you went to school there and somehow were distracted before the game.
I wouldn't argue with Ruin on this one.
Iona gets the victory. So their last 2 wins, remember this is a veteran team last year that had some big-time scores, almost a full calendar year between victories, and 5 freshman starters this time around. Last year was Steve Burton Company, a veteran team.
Better than Caltech.
What was that, 256 in a row or something? Geez, they're always tough on everybody, JB. Hey, Huber, put the day in perspective. Who was the most impressive team this year?
Well, for me, it was NC State. Earlier in the week, they beat Virginia Tech on the road. Then they beat North Carolina. 60% from the field against a great defensive team from the Tar Heels.
I'm done with Southern Cal. I really thought their defense was unbelievable, holding Oregon to 33% for the game. Todd Gibson, 18 points, 7 for 9 in the field. He made a key free throw at the end of the game. This team is playing so good under Tim Floyd. Jerry Davis sweeping Oregon 2 games this year.
I'm going with Iona. The Gales were great. Now I'm going with Florida. Florida shot 55% of the field. Their big guys dominated. Al Horford, Joe Kim Noah, Torian Green, another great game, 18 points. This team is playing as well as anybody in the country and doing it at the right time.
Some of Saturday's top performers, the leading scorer in the Big Ten, Adam Halaska, 33 points in the Hawkeyes victory over Indiana. Javaris Britton, you saw his exploits in his game for protected their victory against Clemson, and then Richard Hendrick and Alabama's victory over South Carolina, 14 points and 15 rebounds. Who's your biggest disappointment as this crowd starts to rev it up?
Well, it has to be Washington. I mean, this is a team that want to get to the NCAA tournament. They haven't played any defense all year. Today, they played no offense. They were 3 of 20 from three-point range, only 54 points, and allowed 84 points from Arizona today.
I got to go with Oklahoma State and Colorado. Colorado's 1-7 going into this game. They're up 15 at halftime. Oklahoma State never got in this game, and that's the difference in the game. And even Colorado was 21 for 27 for free throws in the second half to ice the game. John Sutton should be upset.
Yeah, I'm going to say Virginia Tech because I thought they let a great opportunity get away and got outfought a little bit on the road against Boston College. Now, you got to give Boston College an enormous amount of credit, but Virginia Tech should have come with a little bit more. How about this atmosphere? Is this great?
It is spine-tingling. I would tell you, if you love this sport, you must get here to see a game in Warren.
Nowhere is better. Nowhere is better.
There is nothing negative about coming to Kansas, but there were some negative things on Saturday. Oregon State struggled on offense. Rutgers didn't get anything done in overtime, and Wyoming got blown out. Let's go to Andy Katz now with some nuggets on our game coming up between the Jayhawks and the Aggies.
Well, Reese, let me tell you, the Kansas staff wants to pound it into Joseph Jones. They think they've got three options with Sasha Khan, Darrell Arthur, and Darnell Jackson, and that's fine with Texas A&M. The staff told me Joseph Jones can take it because they think the big matchup problem will be Antonis Kavalauskas. When he's out on the perimeter, they question whether or not Kansas can guard him, certainly when he's facing up. But the key is, they told me they've got to get and handle that transition, get the ball into the post to start that process. Reese?
All right, Andy, you produced the game changer tonight.
Well, it has to be Sasha Khan, and we saw yesterday in practice, Coach Self really challenged him to be aggressive on the offensive end and do the job on Joseph Jones of pushing him out of the paint.
I'm going AC Law of Texas A&M. If they're to win this game tonight, he's got to take it over at the end. He's capable of doing that. He had 14 points in the last 4 minutes in the Oklahoma win last weekend, but he's the go-to guy, and they got to play a non-transition half-court game.
I'm going with Brandon Rush from Kansas. Over the last 3 games, he's averaged over 20 points and 8 rebounds. He can get his own shot. He's got great pull-up ability, and he gets to the free throw line. He's been much more aggressive, knocking shots down, but he's really got to accept the physical challenge that he's going to get from this great Texas A&M defense.
The game changer tonight, one way or the other, will be Josh Carter of Texas A&M. He leads the Big 12 in three-point shooting, but in the Aggies' 3 losses on the road, he has made a grand total of 1 triple, shooting 14% in those 3 losses. A&M has to find a way to get a little bit of offense, Carter from behind the arc, if they're going to spring the upset here in this raucous atmosphere tonight. 16,300 die-hard fans here in Fog Allen Fieldhouse tonight, where over half a century the Jayhawks have ridden that wave of emotion to win over 85% of their games. They are perfect against teams from the Big 12 South. The Jayhawks draw on the energy of this crowd that is totally supportive. They wave the wheat. They do the rock chalk. The question is, can they lead their team to a victory tonight? Our Pontiac prime time pick. Is it going to be Kansas or Texas A&M?
It has to be Kansas. You cannot lose in this atmosphere. It's absolutely unbelievable. Brandon Rush has been huge, 20 points a game in his last 3.
Yeah, it's got to be Kansas for one reason. They're here, and this place is on fire. 2 years ago, we're here. They blew out Texas. I think A&M's in trouble tonight. Why? The transition, the depth, the pressure defense. They want to go up-tempo and get it done.
I'll tell you what, they can't just rely on this crowd. They got to come ready for a fight. This is going to be a really physical basketball game, and whoever controls the paint and controls the backboard is going to win. I give the edge to Kansas, but their big guys have to come ready for a fight.
Gillespie has built his team on toughness, and as we often say, led by you, Coach Billis, toughness is not bowling up, it's making the right play under pressure, right?
No question.
We'll see if Texas A&M can do that tonight. This crowd is into it. They're unified. They're choreographed beautifully. And now, if their team can answer the challenge of the upstart Aggies from College Station, couple of teams in the top 10, the Big 12 lead at stake. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale have the call. Dan, we're ready to go, baby.
And Reese, they're ready to go here as well. These fans among the most passionate in all of America, and they've got a reason to cheer again this season. Their young Jayhawks are ranked 6th in the nation